All right, well, Community Focus here on Channel 6 TV. Kenny Fogel here with you tonight. Glad you could join us as we try to entertain, inform, educate, and whatever else we can do for Central Kentucky. Glad you could be here. We've got Johnny Warren here with us tonight, and Johnny's the Executive Artistic Director for the Stephen Foster Story. Well, first of all, Johnny, welcome to the show tonight.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
This is not your first year, is it?
It's not. I've been there with the company for 16 years.
16 years.
Yeah.
So you started out of it in the acting part
As a cast member. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I started as a cast member and returned for several years as a cast member, and then moved into marketing, then into directing the show, and now as manager and director.
So you know a little bit about Stephen Foster.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I do.
So we've got a new season coming up. Now what running around about 59, 60? What year we are now?
We're on 57.
57. 57 years.
57 years. Unbelievable that, one, we've had the support from the state and the community, but the support of furthering the legacy of Stephen Foster to keep this thing going for 57 years. It's remarkable, and we're proud to carry that mantle.
And you obviously, there's always great years, bad years. You know, obviously due to there's so many factors. There's weather, there's the economy, there's what's going on in some other parts of the world, security threats. I mean, you've got everything in the world to worry about.
Absolutely, and we really do have to consider all of those things. And many people don't realize when you're selling something like entertainment that no one has to have, it is heavily influenced by all of those things that you mentioned. And so we have to duck and dodge and be ready for things like that when we can, while always realizing that we are a nonprofit arts organization, which it's tough to make that go in even the best scenarios. So we're happy to be kicking it off for 57 years.
And obviously we mentioned we depended a lot upon people coming in, well, there's buses coming in. But one of the things I guess that fascinates me is there's so many people in our local area that may have seen the Stephen Foster once or something like that, and or may have not seen it at all, and that'd be a real shame. But again, it's not the same show every single year. I mean, I know you change around just a little bit.
We do. In fact, even from one night to the next in the same week of the summer, you're likely to see a very different show, which is one of the fascinating things about outdoor or live performance of any kind, is that it's never the same. Yeah, you can sit home and watch a movie on TV, and you can pop that movie in the next night, and it's exactly the same experience. But live theater is something remarkably different than that. And so we like to encourage anyone who thinks, yeah, I've been there and I've seen it and I know what that is, to come back and check it out. And particularly for our local audience, we make that as easy and as affordable as possible with our Nelson County rates. It's one of the best kept secrets here in Nelson County is that outside of opening night of the season, every other performance of the Stephen Foster Story, including 4th of July, which is one of our big nights, Nelson County residents can get tickets for $10 for adults and $5 for children. And there's not much else you can do for that low rate and get the kind of experience that we offer there at the amphitheater.
Well, and the thing people may or may not know that you're not casting people like me or some little amateur off the street to come in. I mean, you've got professional actors that travel the country. So rather than somebody here traveling to Louisville to see at the Arts Center, or maybe even, I don't know, say we're up to Broadway yet, but we're close. Well, I mean, it's a very professional acting crew.
We sure are. And in fact, you mentioned Broadway. Each year we have cast members who leave us and go straight to a national tour or Broadway even.
Exactly.
As recently as 2 years ago, we had someone leave our show a few days early to go to a Broadway contract. And so you're right, we do offer that kind of professionalism that you would see at the Kentucky Center for the Arts or whatever performing arts venue you might be going to see music theater. And we also balance that with a true taste of Kentucky, which is both for our tourists and also for our local community, so that they can go and see a performance featuring faces that they recognize. Because we do have about 15 cast members, between 15 and 20 each year, who live here in Bardstown and work other jobs throughout the year, or live in Elizabethtown, Louisville, Lexington. And they either studied music and theater when they were younger, or they are teachers in the field, and they come to us for the summer to perform. So we match that local talent, which is the best of what we have to offer here regionally, with this other part of the cast that is truly coming in from all over the country. We have multiple states represented in our cast. Most of them are just completing or in the midst of music theater training programs in college, and some have been out working regional theater for a few years and will come to us for a summer job. So it's so fascinating, and again, another reason to come and see the show again is that you get to meet these talented people, and we love for people to come backstage. And last year we started a new meet and greet opportunity before the show even starts. And so you can come $10 adult, $5 child, and get to meet these people who are likely to be on Broadway
Exactly.
next year or on television.
I know you've had several success stories over the years of people that's really moved into the acting field.
Yeah, absolutely. Most recently, Chris Wood is someone who performed with us very recently, and he's starring in Vampire Diaries on the CW right now. Christian Borle is a former cast member who has won a Tony Award, and he is NBC's Sound of Music and Peter Pan live performances. He was featured in both of those. So we really are sort of a stepstone from university music theater and arts programs into this realm of regional theater, and then onto Broadway television or whatever.
Absolutely. Well, and we've got the Stephen Foster story, but also, I mean, it's not the only thing you're producing down there. You usually have a second or sometimes a third show, but I think this year you got two.
This year we have just the second show, and it is All Shook Up, which is a story set in the 1950s in a small town anywhere, where a guy rolls in on a motorcycle and shakes things up in the community. It features all Elvis songs. There are 23 songs in the show, and they're all Elvis songs, so it's familiar music.
So you have an Elvis yet?
I do have an Elvis.
Okay.
Actually, the character's name is Chad. This show is set up similar to an Elvis movie, where Elvis played a character in his movies. Features his songs, but the name is Chad, and the guy I have playing Chad, his name is Luke Monday, and he's actually on the sea right now, performing for Holland America Cruise Line.
Yeah.
And so he gets off the boat this week, and then has a couple of weeks to get down to us. But he's excellent, very talented performer. So I'm excited for our community to see him in action too.
Now, how many of those shows do you have?
We only have 8 performances.
8 performances
of All Shook Up.
So,
and one of those, July 23rd, is our Nelson County Discount Night. And so same rates, $10 adult, $5 child. You get that one shot to see our second show at that discounted rate as a Nelson County resident. It's a super fun show. It's really funny, action-packed, and full of music that we all recognize.
And being you don't have very much else to do, you got a few other concerts going on as well.
Yeah, we do. As if we didn't have enough. And that's one of the things we pride ourselves on, is providing as many opportunities as we can in such a short window. We only have shows for about 9 or 10 weeks. And so we pack in as many shows as we can to give everybody a chance to see something that they might like. So our concert series this year kicks off with 1964, The Tribute.
Seen them several times.
Yeah.
Exceptional group.
Beatles tribute, and you may remember a couple of years ago we had a different tribute, Beatles tribute called Yesterday. This is not that group. This is the group that we've had several times.
64 is much better. Yesterday was all right, but 64 is the top of the line.
With you.
Top of the line.
They are. They are considered the best there is, and we believe that too. And it always is very popular for our audience. That's our first show, 1964, The Tribute, and then the Cadillac 3 is our Young Country concert. And we have developed this pattern of bringing in a young country artist that, whether it's the next year or the following year, turns into a big name in country music. And we feel like that'll be true with
You've had some great success on that, and I know they were recognized too. I believe they were on some country music award shows.
They were the latest ACM Awards. They were nominated. One of their biggest hits, The South, Florida Georgia Line and Dierks Bentley were featured in the video and sang along on that song. And so it's got over 1 million YouTube hits. It was super popular. So we were very excited to get them on
well,
board.
great.
In fact, we had to wait a little bit to get that
I
one.
remember.
We announced the rest of the season and then had to keep that question mark before we can announce it, just due to some contract geography negotiations. But so thankful that it all worked out, because they definitely fit the bill for us in terms
Well,
of
you've got a great history
young
of
country.
getting artists to come in that within the next year or so have been at the top of the line.
Yeah.
Come in and pay $20-$30, whatever, right now, and then a couple of years from now, you're going to be paying $80 to $100 for these people.
That's exactly right.
So,
That's the case with the Band Perry and Hunter Hayes and so many other people that we've had that you can see so affordably right here in your backyard. And that won't be the case in a couple of years,
Exactly.
because they really do often rocket to this other level where they're charging a lot more.
the
per ticket.
path to success is through Bardstown.
That's what we like to think, and we have a good track record to prove that, don't we?
Exactly.
Following Cadillac 3 is what we believe will be a new tradition for us, is to have the Monarchs at my old Kentucky home. And on the same date every year is what we're shooting for in the future. The Monarchs have such a tremendous following
They do.
regionally, and they put on such a fantastic show. We're happy to have them back. And then at that point, the Stephen Foster story closes, and what we have left for the summer into the fall are 2 concerts, and the first of which is The Highwaymen, which is a tribute to Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings, and Johnny Cash. They're fantastically talented guys. They look like them, they sound like them, and they play all your favorite songs. So we're thrilled about that opportunity, and then we round out the season with a classic rock tribute called Midnight Special. And they play Queen and Boston and Styx and Journey, and just tons of classic rock favorites that everybody's going to love. And that was really our theme this year for all of our shows, was to present familiar music that people recognize, song titles that people recognize. That's true with our concerts as well as All Shook Up.
Seem excited about this, John.
Yeah, it's summer, and that means it's time to get to the amphitheater.
Yeah.
And it's time for us to get really busy down there. We have 2 full-time employees, 1 part-time employee all year long. And then we get to summertime, and overnight that changes to 100 employees. And so our life changes drastically overnight when we bring in the cast and the crew and the technical crew and artistic staff to make all of this happen. And it's that time. So there's a lot of nervous energy.
Right.
this
Well, like I
time
said,
of year,
people
too.
can come up to the gate and buy their tickets, but you can get season tickets probably and things like that for a whole lot big.
Yeah.
I guess a group discount of some sort.
Yeah, absolutely. For only $125, you can get all 5 concerts, plus the Stephen Foster story, plus a ticket to All Shook Up, which is a fantastic deal. And you get your season ticket, and then you already have your tickets in hand. You already have the date on the calendar. You don't have to think about it anymore.
And a seat to sit in.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And we hear so often from so many people, well, I really wanted to see that, but I just forgot about it.
Yeah.
And so purchasing your season ticket is a way to ensure that you don't forget about it.
Yeah.
Because we have so much going on in our lives and so many things to do. We hear more often than any complaint is the phrase, I just forgot. And so purchasing a season ticket is a great way to take care of that.
And I know a lot of people come down and tailgate before the show. You go out to the patio out front. I mean, there's just so much activity going on down there. You can't be bored.
That's true, and that's our mission here, is to celebrate Stephen Foster and his story, and to make sure that we have great entertainment here in our community. And it's such great fun, and we're so fortunate to be able to bring in so many different types of entertainment and music. So we just want everybody to come and enjoy what we've been working so hard to present. Also, we have group discounts that are available. If you have a group of 15 for both the Stephen Foster story and All Shook Up, we have a discount there. If you have a group of 30 or more, it's an even better discount. And we've started a new project this year where a corporation or a business can purchase discounted tickets for their employees and either all come out the same night and enjoy a show together, or if you want to purchase a set of tickets and then hand them out to your employees, they can come whenever they want to. That option is available too. And that option is also available for concerts. which is a brand new and exciting thing. Prior to that, we have never offered a discount on our concert tickets. So that's a great way to reward your employees, celebrate together as a business family, enjoy some great entertainment. However you want to utilize that, it's a new program, and we're excited to offer it.
Well, we need to support the arts here in Nelson County, but most of all, we need to have fun. And I think coming out at the Stephen Foster Story and having a good fun, plenty of parking. You got all kinds of great parking, and easy to get, easy to get out. I know you started. I think you're starting earlier this year, aren't you? On account of a little bit of that.
June 13th. I'm sorry. The time.
The time earlier.
The performance is 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably our most exciting change this year is that we're bumping the show from 8:30 to 8 p.m. And so now all of our performances, Stephen Foster, All Shook Up, and concerts will begin at 8 o'clock. And there were so many reasons that we decided to do that, and so much thought went into that. And it has been at 8 o'clock before. The primary reason that we've started the Stephen Foster Story at 8:30 is just because of the daylight.
Right.
And many people don't realize that we have to wait until the sun goes down.
You can't turn the lights on.
Before you start. And for some people, it just doesn't quite feel like a show if you can't see the lights. So we spent several years looking at that and determining what effects we really can use and what we'll just save for Act 2. And the darkness level, of course, changes over the course of the summer.
Yeah.
And so by the end of the summer, it's much darker at the beginning of the show anyway. And so we, through some research and surveying of our audience and our local businesses, we realized that at 8 o'clock start time is just going to be best for everybody. If you're a tourist that has been visiting other attractions in Bardstown, that gives you time to have dinner, come see the show, and then either get to bed a little earlier or go out for dessert or drinks after the show. And if you're local or regional, if you live in Louisville or Lexington, you're more likely to feel comfortable driving back home and get home before midnight. Or get
This
home
is all on
before
their
11:30.
website, StephenFoster.com.
StephenFoster.com. Follow us on Facebook also. We post a lot of information on Facebook. Stephen Foster also tweets, and we have an Instagram account too. Who would have thought? Stephen Collins Foster probably never even fathomed such a thing as tweeting or social media, but we're glad to have his presence there. It's such an awesome way to keep connected with people, and so we do a lot of work in social media. And what's fun about our social media is most often we're not posting show times or ticket prices or anything like that. We post content that we hope will engage our audience. History facts about Stephen Foster, about music, interesting things that are going on in the world. Stephen Foster's music is played anywhere and everywhere. We're so happy to celebrate it here in Bardstown, Kentucky, but it is in fact celebrated all over the world.
It is.
And so we focus our social media efforts in those kind of fun things that don't have so much to do with what's going on specifically right now at the amphitheater.
Now you hear the Stephen Foster music. I thought it was funny the other day. I watched an old Daniel Boone episode with Fess Parker. Of course, this was 30 years before Stephen Foster was born, but they're playing some of Stephen Foster's music in it.
Yeah, it's exactly right. And there's so many reasons why Stephen Foster's music is so heavily ingrained in American culture. His melodies were just so simple to learn and sing and play on a flute or whistle or whatever happened, that people remembered his music and shared it and passed it down from one generation to the next. But also after his death, his music was entered into the public domain. And so if you were making a movie, you could put one of Stephen Foster's songs in and you didn't have to pay for it. And so that was another reason that his music was so heavily used in old westerns and movies. And that also helped to solidify Captown Races, Oh Susanna, Jeannie with the Light Brown Hair, Beautiful Dreamer as songs that as an American we just know. And of course that music gained popularity outside of the United States over the years too.
He's our first rock star. So
That's right.
America's first rock star.
That's
well,
right.
Johnny, appreciate you being here today. And
Thank
like
you.
I said, we invite everybody to come out and spend some time, because just about every night of the week there's something going on down at the Stephen Foster Amphitheater, the J. Dan Talbot Amphitheater.
That's right.
And check out StephenFoster.com or give him a call or just find out what's going on. Get on Facebook, because like I said, there's something going on every night. Appreciate what you being here, and I know you got a busy summer coming up.
Sure do.
So
It's that time to get to work. Thanks so much for
we'll
having
get
me.
you back here this time next year.
I appreciate it. We'll see you at the theater this summer.
All right, you all take care. We'll be back on Community Focus here in just a few minutes here on Channel 6 TV. We'll be right back.